The race to crown the next superstar or supergroup is on. The X Factor, the show that makes stars of everyday people like Reese Maston, Leona Lewis, and 5 ordinary guys who are now the hottest property on earth, One Direction.
You just see them and you just want to cry.
Tonight, we take a special look at the power of the global hit-making talent show with an Access All Areas pass to the British pop supergroup.
Hi, we're One Direction.
We check in on some of X Factor's greatest talent. And almost 12 months on, I catch up with our very own X Factor winner, Reese Maston.
You had a performance sort of shut down.
This is an X Factor Australia exclusive as we celebrate the road to superstardom.
You have the X Factor.
I can hear my heart beating.
G'day Australia, we're One Direction and we're here in London, the home of the X Factor. I'm Liam.
I'm Louis.
I'm Niall.
I'm Zane.
I'm Harry, and we're One Direction, and we're with Luke watching a very special episode of the X Factor.
That's right, guys. I'm going to be chatting with One Direction. We've got some questions from you. I've got some questions myself, and it's going to be amazing. Don't miss it.
8 years on, the show created by TV and music mogul Simon Cowell is still making music and TV history, with over 250 #1 hits and 100 million records sold worldwide.
I know the X Factor's the best platform to launch careers. And the best example I can give you is One Direction. They will be the best-selling artists ever from X Factor.
Every now and then all the stars align and you find some real magic in a band. One Direction are a phenomenon.
One Direction are the biggest boy band in the world at this minute.
Since appearing on the X Factor, One Direction has had a meteoric rise to superstardom, selling over 11 million records worldwide and have achieved #1 in 27 countries.
No one expected the whole world to go completely crazy for this huge band.
You want a real shot at a career, come on the X Factor.
For One Direction, their shot at superstardom began 2 years ago, when the 5 fellas lined up as soloists with hundreds of thousands of other hopefuls at the open auditions for the 7th series of the X Factor UK. They would try their luck in front of X Factor creator and judge Simon Cowell, recording artist and former Pussycat Doll Nicole Scherzinger, and megastar producer Louis Walsh.
I'll always remember Harry Styles' first audition because he just walked in and he just lit up the stage.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
When I first auditioned for the X Factor, I was 16. I was at school and I was working part-time in a bakery.
What are you doing here today?
I've always wanted to audition, but I've always been too young.
I just remember kind of being so intimidated.
And what are you going to sing?
I'll do Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder.
OK, good luck.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she lovely, made from love?
I like you, Harry. I'm going to say yes.
And you'll be happy to hear that I'm going to say yes.
Thank you.
When I got through, I remember I was kind of relieved, and I just remember thinking, I just don't want to go to school and say that I didn't get through.
So Harry earned his spot, followed by 17-year-old Niall.
I think people would absolutely like you.
17-year-old Zane.
My mum had told me I could sing, so I just wanted to go and get an answer from somebody else.
Let me love you.
Louis, you sing that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
19-year-old Louis.
Oh, it's what you do to me.
You've got 3 yeses.
Thank you so much.
And 17-year-old Liam.
I remember Liam, it was his second time back on the show because he'd been there the year before and he just blew us all away.
Cry me a river.
You've definitely got it. Whatever it is that you've got it.
Success for all 5 boys saw them into the boot camp rounds. But with over 200 candidates fighting for the very limited places moving forward,
I've messed the words up. Can I start again?
The competition was going to be unbelievably tough.
Being here the last few days has made me realise how much I want to stay, that I really don't want to go home now.
We'd really willed them to do one in that middle stages, but for whatever reason, whether it was song choice, whether it was nerves, I don't know, it just fell apart.
The boys would soon learn that their dreams would be cut short.
That's it, guys. Really, really sorry.
I didn't really expect to get through as a solo artist. I didn't rate myself like that high.
You've got it in your head now that you want to go as far as possible, and it's not just a bit of fun anymore. So that's the most difficult stage to get knocked out, really.
You've gone to all this hard work, and then you're just going to have to go home and tell everyone that you weren't going through. I think that was the main kind of brunt of it.
The worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. Standing there and waiting for your name to be called, and then it's not. Oh, sorry.
That was the moment when it entered my head, only then, that maybe we should put these guys into a group because they were too good to lose.
Zayn, Liam Payne, Harry Styles.
Oh my God.
Guys, follow me this way.
Thank you so much for coming back. We just feel that you're too talented to let go of.
We've decided to put you through.
It was so exciting because the fact that we got put into a group was like this massive twist.
I was just getting ready to go home, and then obviously when we got the second chance, it was cool.
We went backstage and we stood in a circle and we went, right, how are we going to dress? And how naive we were.
But on home visits, they'd have more than their wardrobe to worry about. Performing for their very first time together in front of their mentor.
1 minute we're a solo artist, and the next minute we've been put into a group with guys that we don't even know, and you know, we're performing in front of people like Simon Cowell, so we've got massive pressure.
I looked at them and I thought, yeah, you really look like a proper group. And I'm just sitting there thinking, please be good, please be good.
Nothing's fine, I'm told. You're a little late. I'm already told.
Within about 10 seconds, I got goosebumps. I thought, they're not good, they're fantastic. But I kept a very stony face. Guys, I've gone with my heart. You're through. That was the moment, if I'm being honest with you, where I thought we've got a real shot here.
Their talent secured them a spot on the XFactor live stage. One Direction now performing for a TV audience in the tens of millions each week.
The first live show was the most nerve-wracking before we went out. And then it turned into, instead of us getting really nervous, we just loved being on stage. Every time we were on, we loved it, and every time that we came off, we'd be absolutely ecstatic from being on.
I landed into the live shows and I'm like, who are all these people? Who are these guys? They've just got such good energy.
That was when I ruled the world.
The band is gelling. Even though Simon's going to claim he put this band together, it was my idea originally, Simon. It was. No. It was my idea.
And while some on the panel argued for the credit, it was obvious our judges were hooked on One Direction.
I have to say that you're 5 heartthrobs. I can't even cope with how cute you are, seriously. Wow, this is the new big boy band, and I think that'll come in time.
Well, that time has just come.
One Direction wouldn't be here today without the X Factor. They were formed on the X Factor. I'm really excited about X Factor this year. The fact that we're going to put together a supergroup is incredible.
From the minute they formed, there were girls lining up outside that studio going nuts.
Us to walk out and be like, see all these girls at the gate was kind of scary because obviously we'd never experienced anything like that before.
I couple of months ago, we could just, obviously all of us walk into a shop without any hassle, whereas now we walk into a shop and get absolutely mobbed by screaming girls, which is, well, that's
mind-blowing.
better than average, isn't it? Oh my God.
We went back home and we went to each of our hometowns, which is really near the final.
And you know what?
That's the moment where you think, this is actually getting a little bit serious now.
Sometimes it just goes right. And with One Direction, it did. And suddenly they birthed a monster.
I love Zayn. What happened? Oh, he's beautiful. Are you the biggest fan? Yeah!
That was just a small taste of what our lives could be like. We want to go and win because we don't want that life to stop.
When we got to the final, we were like, we want to win this.
If you get that far in the competition, you'd want to win.
The X Factor has access to the biggest stars in the world. So, in the finals and in front of almost 20 million viewers, who did Simon call on?
Incredible! Robbie Williams! If there's somebody calling me on, she's the calling me on. One Direction.
Coming here at the start of their journey, knowing exactly what they're thinking and exactly what they're feeling, and being part of it feels really good.
One Direction and Rebecca. One of you is out of the competition. The second act, still in the final, is... Rebecca.
We got kicked out and we came third. At the time, we were massively disappointed.
We wanted to win so much.
All I can say is, this is just the beginning for these boys.
The next day, Simon called us into the Sony offices and we signed a contract. So that was crazy.
I am proud when I see the success they've done, and I think what makes me most proud is that I couldn't wish for a better ambassador for the show.
Even though they didn't win, there's no denying One Direction's star quality, nor the power of the X Factor to find or create music superstars or supergroups.
I mean, there's no other show in the world like X Factor. You know, we have the ability to create a supergroup, and we have amazing singers, and they could be huge.
It's possible. You can create something extraordinary that really can take over the world. So, I mean, I'm up for that.
Coming up, my exclusive chat with One Direction in London.
Now, guys, I have heard some rumours.
We relive the hysteria when the boys touched down in Australia.
You see them and you just want to cry.
And next, from schoolboy to mobs of screaming fans, that brings a city to a standstill.
You had a performance sort of shut down.
It was just chaos. It was easily the most insane moment I've had ever.
The wait is finally over. The hot new single by One Direction, Live While We're Young, is out tomorrow. And their highly anticipated second album, Take Me Home, is released November 9.